Hello grade 11. In this session, we will continue section 2, Science and Exploration. Please open your books on page 57. The Voyages of Discovery. Some advances in science and technology enabled people to make longer, safer sea voyages. New compasses and astrolabes helped sailors figure out where they were even when far from land. Improvements in map making helped people plan safer routes for their journeys. In addition, new ships such as the Caravel made sea travel safer. The Caravel could sail farther than earlier ships could. Equipped with these new advances, many Europeans set out on great voyages of discovery. They sailed into unknown waters, hoping to find new trade routes to faraway places. They would succeed in their quest, and their discoveries would change the world. The drive to discover. Why were Europeans so eager to explore? They had many reasons. Some explorers were curious about the unknown. They hoped to find out what lay beyond the horizon. Others sought adventure and the excitement of life at sea. Still, others had religious reasons. These explorers wanted to spread the Christian faith. Another reason to explore was the desire to get rich. Some explorers wanted to find new lands that had products they could sell in Europe. The explorers hoped to sell these goods for lots of money and to become rich. In addition, some European leaders promoted exploration in hope it would benefit their countries. Prince Henry, a member of the Portuguese royal family, encouraged explorers to find a route to India's rich spice trade. Queen Isabella of Spain also promoted exploration. Voyages to the East. In the mid-1400s, explorers from Europe began searching for an all-water route to Asia. They wanted to reach Asia to get goods from China and India. During the Middle Ages, Europeans had discovered the exotic goods available in Asia. Many of them, such as silk and spices, were not found in Europe. These Asian goods were costly because traders had to bring them long distances over land. Further, Italian traders controlled the sale of such goods in Europe. And these Italian traders had become very rich. Other European countries wanted to break the hold the Italians had on trade with Asia. The Italians controlled all the trade routes in the Eastern Mediterranean. If other countries could find an all-water route to Asia, they would not have to pay Italian traders to get exotic Asian goods. The first explorers to search for a sea route to Asia were from Portugal. Under the direction of Prince Henry, they sailed south along Africa's west coast. As they went, they set up trading posts along the Atlantic coast of Africa. In time, explorers sailed farther south. In 1497-1498, a Portuguese explorer named Vasco da Gama sailed around the southern tip of Africa and on to the west coast of India. Portugal had found a new sea route to Asia. Voyages to America. Meanwhile, other countries had also been sending explorers out to find new routes to Asia. The most important expedition came from Spain. In 1492, Queen Isabella of Spain helped pay for a voyage led by Christopher Columbus, an Italian sailor. Columbus hoped to reach Asia by sailing west across the Atlantic. The voyage was long and difficult, but he finally reached land after several months at sea. He landed on an island in what is now the Bahamas. Columbus had reached a new land. Columbus thought he had found a route to Asia, which Europeans called the Indies. Europeans came to realize that he had reached a land unknown to them. They called this land, which in time came to be known as America, the New World. This wave of European exploration of the Americas had many different causes. Some explorers were still looking for the best water route to Asia. They hoped to find a passage through the Americas by which ships could sail to India or China. Other explorers led voyages in search of riches. These explorers had heard that the native people of the Americas had lots of gold, more gold than most Europeans had ever seen. These explorers dreamed of the glory and riches they hoped to gain from conquering the lands and people of the Americas. Voyages around the world. For some Europeans, their new knowledge of the Americas made them more curious about the world. Since they had not known about the Americas, they wondered what else about the world they didn't know. One way to learn more about the world, they decided, would be to circumnavigate or travel all the way around Earth. The first person to try such a journey was Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese sailor. Magellan sailed west from Spain around the southern tip of South America. From there, he continued into the Pacific Ocean, where no European had ever sailed. Magellan made it as far as the Philippines, where he was killed in a conflict with natives. His crew pushed on, however, and finally reached Spain to complete their trip around the world. The voyages of explorers like Magellan taught Europeans much about the world. In time, they even achieved the goal of Christopher Columbus to reach Asia by sailing west from Europe. In addition, they paved the way for European settlement and colonization of the Americas. New empires. As European explorers discovered new lands in the Americas and elsewhere, they claimed these lands for their countries. These land claims formed the basis for new European empires that stretched across the sea into lands far from Europe. Conquests and empires. The Spanish, who were the first Europeans to reach the Americas, claimed large areas of land there. In some places, the Spanish met powerful native empires. These native people fought to defend their lands. Before long, though, the Spanish had defeated the two most powerful empires in the Americas. These empires were the Aztecs in what is now Mexico and the Incas in what is now Peru. The Spanish had steel swords, firearms, and horses, all unknown in the Americas. This advantage helped the Spanish defeat the Aztec and Inca armies. In addition, diseases that the Spanish carried killed many thousands of Native Americans. By the mid-1500s, Spain ruled a huge area in the Americas. One of Spain's central goals in the Americas was to gain wealth. The Spanish wanted the gold and silver that could be found in Mexico and some other places. To get these riches, the Spanish enslaved Native Americans and forced them to work in mines. In addition, the Spanish brought African slaves to the Americas to work in the mines. Soon, ships full of gold and silver from these mines were crossing the Atlantic Ocean back to Spain. Riches from the Americas made Spain the wealthiest country in Europe. Spain's rulers used this money to buy equipment for its armies and to produce ships for its navy. With the powerful military, Spain became Europe's mightiest country, the center of a huge empire. Other colonies. Other European countries envied Spain's wealth and power. They wanted a share of the wealth that Spain was finding in the Americas. In hope of finding similar wealth, these countries began to establish colonies in the lands they explored. As the map shows, colonists from England, France, the Netherlands, and Portugal had settled in the Americas by 1700. Like the Spanish, these colonists found Native Americans living in the places they settled. In some cases, new colonists lived peacefully with Native Americans. In other cases, conflict occurred and colonists and Native Americans fought bloody wars. Unlike the Spanish, other European colonists in the Americas did not find huge deposits of gold or silver. They did find other valuable resources, though. Among these resources were wood, furs, rich soil, and different foods. These resources helped the countries of England, France, Portugal, and the Netherlands grow wealthy. So, for a quick summary, in this section, we have seen that the scientific revolution and the age of exploration expanded knowledge and led to changes around the world. Next, we will read about another time of great change called the Enlightenment. This period led to major political changes in Europe. Now, please, I want you to highlight and study the main ideas in your books, and I want you to complete Section 2 assessment on page 61. This homework is due April 29. Thank you and have a good day.